It's the middle of the night. You're in a tent somewhere with no road and no signal. A single sheet of nylon between you and a forest that has been awake for hours. There are things out there that could open you up without breaking stride. Animals that can smell you from miles off, that see in the dark while you lie there blind, that have killed bigger and faster prey than you 10,000 times over. And every morning you unzip the flap, step out into the cold, and you're still here, every time. Well, almost every time. That word is carrying a lot. Almost. Because the strange thing isn't that you survive the night, it's that nothing even tries. By every measure that matters to a hunter, you are an easy meal. Slow, soft, unconscious, laid out on the ground like an offering. So why does the wild let you be? Or are you just lucky enough, often enough, to never quite end up within reach? Hold on to that question. Because there is one place on Earth where the answer turns completely inside out, and that's where we're going to end up. Start with the mountain lion. In the mountains above Santa Cruz, California, a team led by Justine Smith at UC Santa Cruz hid speakers near the fresh kills of mountain lions, pumas, the animals that take down full-grown deer and haul the body uphill like it's nothing. When a puma returned to feed, the speaker played something simple, a human voice. People, just talking. The results, published in 2017, were almost comic in how one-sided they were. The pumas ran. 83% of the time, they bolted. And then they kept their distance, cutting their time on the kill by roughly half, abandoning meat they had already chased and bled for because a voice said people were near. Think about what that costs an animal. A kill is energy already spent, energy that has to be earned back. A predator that walks away from one is, in the brutal arithmetic of survival, working for free. They did it anyway. So they are not missing you out there in your tent. They hear you. They smell you. They know precisely where you are. They are choosing to leave. And that choice is the smart one. A predator isn't built to be brave. It's built to last. There is no vet in the wild, no sick day, no second attempt. A wolf with a ripped shoulder doesn't recover and try again. It starves. So every hunt is a bet. Is this worth the chance of getting hurt? And almost nothing about you reads as a safe bet. You don't move like prey. You don't smell like prey. You don't sound like prey. You're an unfamiliar shape giving off wood smoke and synthetic cloth and the chemistry of 100 things that have never existed in any forest. To the animal running the numbers, you don't add up to food, you add up to a question. And a careful animal does not bet its life on a question. But the deepest layer here isn't the math. It's memory, not the kind a single animal carries, the kind an entire species inherits. We have been killing the things that hunt us for a very, very long time, long enough to bend their evolution around us. The wolves that slipped too close to the firelight got speared. The lions that tested us got tracked down and killed. Generation after generation, the bold ones were pulled out of the bloodline, and the cautious ones lived to breed, until wariness around humans stopped being something learned and became something born, installed before the animal ever opens its eyes. And we are not a gentle thing to sit at the top. In 2015, a team led by Chris Darramont laid it out in the journal Science. Humans kill adult prey, the breeding core of a population, at up to 14 times the rate other predators manage. We kill large carnivores at roughly 9 times the rate they kill one another. The study gave the thing we are a name. The super predator. Not the fastest animal in the forest, not the strongest. The one every other hunter learned, across uncountable deaths, to be afraid of. So stand on the other side of it for a moment. You're a leopard, and a shape comes walking through your trees on 2 legs. It doesn't sprint, it doesn't freeze, it does none of the things prey is supposed to do. It just keeps coming, slow, upright, certain, the way nothing in your world moves unless it owns the ground it stands on. It isn't your body the leopard fears. It's your reputation. Now the part almost no one mentions. You think you sleep helpless. You don't. In 2017, David Sampson and his colleagues, in the Proceedings of the Royal Society, recorded the sleep of the Hadza, hunter-gatherers in Tanzania who still live close to the way our ancestors did. Across 20 nights, with the whole camp bedded down together, there were just 18 minutes total when every single person was asleep at the same time. The rest of the night, someone was always up. No one was assigned the watch. It simply falls out of the fact that people of different ages drift off and surface at different hours, so the group is never all the way under at once. You were never defenseless in the dark. You were one body in a watch that never fully closes its eyes. But the rule isn't ironclad. Predators do attack people, and the exceptions are the most revealing part of the whole story, because each one shows you exactly what the rule is built from. Here's the obvious objection. Maybe none of this is respect. Maybe you're simply rare. A predator almost never crosses paths with a human in the wild, so of course attacks are uncommon. Or maybe you just don't taste like much. Fair enough. Worth saying out loud. Except it doesn't account for the one pattern that keeps surfacing. The same species behaves utterly differently depending on its history with us. Where animals have been hunted by people for generations, they melt away at the first trace of us. Where they have never encountered us at all, they're bolder, curious, unbothered. The fear isn't standard issue. It's taught, and a population has to survive alongside us long enough to learn it. And when the rule does break, look at who breaks it. In 1898, in Tsavo, Kenya, 2 male lions killed railway workers over 9 months. Decades later, isotope analysis of their remains put the true toll near 35. The colonel who shot them had claimed 135. One lion had a ruined tooth, and a cattle plague had stripped the land of their usual prey. They didn't develop a taste for people. They ran out of everything else. Or take the Champawat tigress, blamed for 436 deaths across Nepal and India before Jim Corbett shot her in 1907. The postmortem found 2 of her canines shattered by an old bullet wound. She physically could not kill what she was built to kill. A man-eater isn't a predator that stopped fearing us. It's a predator that ran out of other options. And then there's water. Wade into a river in the wrong part of the world and none of this shields you, because a crocodile never had to learn a thing. In its element, you were never the apex. You were only ever meat that wandered in. So we can measure all of it. The flight, the abandoned kills, the 83%, the maps of the places the cats won't go. What we cannot do is climb inside a wolf circling your fire and find out what it actually feels. Whether something like fear moves through it, a held breath, a real unease, or whether it's running a script written by 10,000 dead ancestors, nobody home, a reflex that simply happens to keep you alive. We don't know. We may never know. What we do know is stranger. The thing protecting you out there isn't a wall or a weapon. It's a reputation. A story the wild has been told about your kind for so long it stopped needing to be retold. And a reputation only covers you where it was earned. Somewhere it wasn't, the story was never written at all. Which brings us, finally, north. To the one place the deal comes apart. The Arctic is the only ground where our kind never got to be the first apex predator. We came late, scattered and thin across the ice, and we never wrote ourselves into the bone of the animal that rules it. So the polar bear looks at you with none of the inherited caution a wolf is born holding. In 2017, James Wilder and his colleagues went back through every recorded polar bear attack from 1870 to 2014. 73 of them. Most were not defensive. Most were a bear treating a person as food. The ones most likely to do it were young, or starving, or both. And more than a quarter happened inside towns, something almost unheard of with any other kind of bear. The sea ice is thawing out from under them, the seals are slipping out of reach, and hungry bears are coming ashore, toward us. The polar bear isn't breaking the deal. It just never signed it. Everywhere else, the map of where you are safe is the same map as the places your species already won. You move through a world that learned to fear you before you were born, and will never quite shake the lesson. So the next time you lie in that tent and hear something heavy shift through the dark and feel that old animal dread crawl up your spine, let it. It kept your ancestors breathing. But the dark out there already knows exactly what you are, and it has decided, one more time, that you are not worth the risk. Not tonight. Huh. The deal still holds. Almost everywhere.